Okay, and we are back once again. Apologies for inconvenience with this instability. We just discussed the first T, which was about trusted value. And just to summarize, it's all about creating unique value for your customers and also creating and growing the trust. Because when you grow trust by adding value to your customers, then your customers would tell other people about your product. So it's like creating a free sales and marketing team for your product and your service just for free. The more you create trust, the more you add unique value. Trust plus value equals more customers automatically. How do you do this online? By maintaining a regular and healthy process by online communications, through communicating regularly with your existing customers and potential customers. So that was the first T. The second T is about connections. I call it tremendous connections, or large number of connections, whether for your company or for yourself as an entrepreneur, as a CEO, as a salesperson. The more you are well connected, the more business that you can drive. It's all about who you know. It's all about the people, the network, the community that you are into. Because if you have the greatest product, but you don't have the proper network, maybe it would take you some long time, effort, and even money to reach potential customers. Even the product is good, but they go always together. Good product with good connections. So how well are you and your company connected with partners? I learned across the last 10 years by establishing startups between Cairo, Rome, and Salzburg, that always partners help. It's always a very healthy win-win situation. The more you can scout for good partners in other, let's say, other areas rather than your city, other countries, in a win-win situation, it's a quick, speedy way to grow your business. No company can do everything alone by himself, especially at the early stage. If it's a startup in early stages, then it's very difficult that you can do everything on your own as an entrepreneur. The more you can scout, find, and leverage on win-win situation with partners, the more they can help you, the more they can speed up whatever efforts in business development and business growth that you're trying to achieve. So first, number one, seek partners. Number two, seek industry experts to be always ahead of your industry, to know what's happening, what's coming next. Is there, let's say, some new trends, new conferences, new even technologies upcoming in the industry? The more you are well connected with the experts, the more you are ahead of your competition. Industry experts is connection with them is really crucial. And also industry leaders, the popular brands, the popular people, even if they are competitors, but always try to seek win-win relation. Is there any common grounds that you can establish with the industry leaders, regardless of the situation? If they're competitors, just try to find out if there are common grounds. If not, then at least you should maintain your presence within the community of the leaders. The more you are connected with industry leaders, industry experts, technical experts, partners, the more you can speed up your business development. In a practical way, the easiest and most efficient way to do that is through LinkedIn. I have started my own company, and I'll share with you some interesting stories in few minutes. But LinkedIn is a gold mine. I have been on LinkedIn for the last 12 years, I think, starting 2008, 2007 maybe. And I have built startups, grown my personal network, grown my business as a company, grown my business as an independent consultant. Nowadays, LinkedIn is a gold mine, because LinkedIn, you can reach out for anybody connected on LinkedIn over the globe, send them a decent connection request, and then you can start a conversation online in a win-win situation with them. So it's not a matter of how can I reach this expert, how can I find this partner. It's just a matter of few minutes that you can invest on LinkedIn. Let me share with you an interesting story. Maybe I shared it previously in some of the Emma/Wisal events before, but I'm always proud of that story. The story says, Earlier in 2020, everyone was doing online webinars for their industry. I work as a consultant and trainer for online marketing. So I was doing regular webinars on my own Facebook page. I did a Facebook Live every Monday, and I had a good network, a good community of people following the advices or following whatever knowledge I can share with them. But I decided to flip it over. I decided to search for people who are looking for my expertise. Besides sharing expertise to everyone online, I would just also, in parallel to that, look for who is looking for that type of expertise. So I just went to LinkedIn, and in the search box, I just searched for webinar speakers. I didn't find many things, but when I searched for webinar presenters, I found this post. Asma Hajj Mabrouk. I didn't know anything about her. She was calling for webinar presenters in English or French about crisis management or any other interesting topics for Wisal mentees, called for presenters. So I added Asma to my network, and I sent her a message saying, I'm not an expert in crisis management, but maybe I can help your audience and your Wisal mentees with online marketing and personal branding. And then we discussed, we exchanged some emails, and she said it's a free webinar just for 1 hour or a couple of hours. If you are willing to do that, then that's fine. I can see that your LinkedIn profile says that you are an expert in online marketing, blah, blah, blah. And then we did it. And it was quite very, very interesting experience for me to share some experience with a new community. And it was really, really very, very interesting experience for everyone. I tried as much as possible to give as much knowledge within this webinar, which then, Asma, I think a couple of months later, she came back to me and asked for a professional training, where we do a professional training for a selected number of mentees. So you can, right now, using the proper mindset and tactics on LinkedIn, you can create your own opportunity. You can scout for customers, you can scout for partners, exactly the same just as I did. And by the way, this is exactly what we are doing right now. This speech here in this event is, the consequence or the next step of this relation that simply started between myself, Asma, Emma, and all the Emma/Wisal team. The more I created value, the more we're working together. But it all started by a search in the LinkedIn search box. Keep in mind, always, 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 LinkedIn is an underestimated gold mine. Number 3, key number 3 is the media. The more you can pitch the media, especially local media in your country, the more you get a little bit different proposition for yourself and for your brand. This is what I learned. Here is another story. My very first media appearance was back in 2011, and that was in Nairobi. As you can see the photo on the left, it was my very first ever interview. I was invited also an opportunity through LinkedIn, where a lady invited me to be a speaker in a social media conference in Nairobi at that time. I went there, and the guy on the left says, you know what, I'm working with the conference media office, and we are having an interview with the BBC. Would you like to join? So at that time, I was a little bit shy and skeptical. BBC, okay, why not? Let's do it. But then I realized, when your company, your brand, your product, your service, yourself, you are in the media, then you are perceived as an expert, not just as a salesperson trying to sell a product or service. And that's a totally, totally, totally different perspective and different positioning for yourself, your brand, your product, and your service. And since that critical moment in my career, I started realizing the power of the media. I started to create value to my customers, share, as I told you in the first T, share some showcases, success stories, and try to pitch them to the media. And I tried to scout also for local journalists here in Cairo or regional media professionals, saying, you know what, this is what we did in an online campaign. It was really different. That's the value we added to our customer, and that's a new trend in social media, for example. And then starting from that, I got more interviews with BBC, with SkyNews Arabia, and many other local/regional media. And the more I went into the media, the more I could position myself, my company, my brand, and my services in another perspective as an expert. So, okay. Um, so the media is a very important thing. Till the last stage, I'm currently teaching social media at the American University in Cairo. And the last thing, just to end the session quickly here, is if you combine these three C's, it's all about your own personal branding. What is Google telling others about yourself and your own brand? If people would Google yourself now, uh, what would Google tell people about yourself? What would Google tell people about your brand? Let's get back just one slide back here, because the more you create content online, the more the media puts online content about yourself and your brand, the more Google will point back to that. So it's like a circle. You create value to your customer, you gain their trust, they share testimonials, they share reviews about them, you share a success story that you can pitch to the media, and when you pitch to the media, they publish it online, which brings some new customers where people search for your brand, your company on Google, and then they find these interviews from your company. It's like a cycle. It's a process. Always think like how to design a very well-defined process. So getting the first customer is the most tough thing. Then when you deliver value to your customer, you create a showcase. You publish the showcase, you share it online, you share it on social media, you write a blog about the story, you share it on your website. Whenever possible, pitch that to the media. If the media grabs that and publishes it online, or you are on TV, get that and put it also on your online presence, so that people would Google your name, your company, your product, they'll find you and your product online in the media. Then people would trust you because you are the expert. You are people always perceive whenever someone is in the media at a higher expertise level, which is true. Then it's a cycle. The more you grow this cycle, the more automatically you can create value to your existing customers and create a magnet for new customers. I'm really proud to be teaching currently, as I told you, online journalism and social media journalism at the American University in Cairo. And by the way, this award, that was an award ceremony where I was awarded in 2019, the award of Digital Education Pioneer. I was one of 5 instructors starting the first online diploma for digital journalism at the American University in Cairo 1 year before the COVID-19 and all the hype of working from home, teaching from home. We were teaching from home one year ahead. So I'm really proud to be that much deep into the media industry, which wasn't in my head before. But the more you work with the media, the more you understand how they work. And by the way, a very, very, very valuable advice that I learned and I would like to share with you. Whenever possible, build your network with the media professionals and always pitch your success stories to the media, because media and media professionals and journalists, they are always looking for new stories. Do not feel shy. Do not feel that they might let you down. That would happen for sure. But if you keep this in a process, media are always looking for new stories, new perspective, new success that they publish. That's their job, creating new stories. If you are the source for new stories, new perspectives, new trends in the industry, new success stories for the customers, you are the trustworthy person. They will get back to you. They will get back to your company. They'll ask you, what have you done in the last quarter, in Q4 2020? Would you like to share with us like a summary of the year? Do you have any success story? Have you done anything unique or different to the local market? So if you position yourself and your company at that level, then it's also another automatic magnet for new customers and for growing your business. And that's what happens when you combine these 3: trusted value, connections, and the media. When you combine these 3, this is all, we call it the umbrella of personal branding. And personal branding is extremely, extremely, extremely crucial, because now, starting 2020, starting the COVID-19, the pandemic era, everyone is connected online in at least double the time that they spend, especially in the last wave, where people were maybe nowadays it's unfortunately coming back with the lockdowns. People are spending more time at home, more time online. No one is in the street. No one is, walking around. We spend more time at home, more time in front of our devices, be it a laptop, computer, mobile apps. So the amount of time people are spending online is growing due to this pandemic. So if you create in front of the eyes of those people a very, let's say, decent, catchy, and valuable personal brand for yourself that would reflect the values of your company, your product, or your service, then automatically grows your product. So as I was saying, how do you grow your personal branding? There are, let's say, very, very simple yet powerful tactics. Always Google yourself and Google your product, because if you don't do that frequently, your customers, your competitors, your partners would be doing that. If you Google your own name or the name of your company, what would Google tell others about you? Again, whether it's a potential customer, it's an existing customer, it's a competitor, it's a partner, it's someone from the other side of the world. What would a search engine like Google tell the world about yourself, your company, your product, and service? For example, I just did a quick search before starting this presentation. What's the latest figure Google is presenting about myself to the world? So I just Googled Fady Ramzy in English and then in Arabic. Interestingly, in Arabic, the first results were video. And this is the change in the way Google is presenting the SERP, the search engine results page. It's not always about links. Sometimes it's about more of media. Sometimes it presents tweets. Sometimes it presents a photo carousel. Sometimes it presents videos. So here, interestingly, it presented 4 videos. Video number 1 was a session that I did like 6 or 7 years ago with Google Egypt, where I was one of the trainers for Ibda with Google, or Start with Google competition. So this is the first result that Google told the world about me, that Fady Ramzy did a session in the second day in Google with Ibda with Google competition back in Cairo, and this is the video, this is the session. And then are some of my media interviews, whether for, I don't remember, that was Mehwar channel, and the other one was Misat, and the 4th video is a video that I published myself on my Facebook page. So I created some content, some value, and the media then interviewed me, and then the interviews, the media exposure, the previous work and showcases is what Google is presenting about me to the people. And then lastly comes the links, the traditional links, which is my profile on the website of the American University in Cairo as one of their instructors there. So the more you create content, the more you have media appearances, the more you showcase success stories for your product and service, the more it reflects on Google. That's the process that you should have in mind. And that's why we see always content is king. The more content you create, or you invite others to create about yourself and your brand, then Google would appreciate that and would reflect and push that content in front of the eyes of people searching for you. Next comes LinkedIn, again and again and again. And I'm a big fan, advocate, and supporter and user, whatever you call it, for LinkedIn. LinkedIn, if you build a decent presence with regular posts, regular conversations that you can open, whether as a company on the company page or as a person on your personal account, the more you invest time, effort, and money is in creating content that opens conversations, the more you invest time, effort, and money on LinkedIn, the more for sure it pays off, and it pays off regularly, frequently, and quickly. Keep that always in mind. Let me stop here and share with you a secret tool of LinkedIn. Some of you might know it, and some of you might not know it. LinkedIn has a tool which is called Social Selling Index. It ranks your own personal, let's say, presence on LinkedIn. It's not just your profile. It's not just your content. It has 4 matrices. It ranks your overall presence on the platform, and it gives you a score between 0 to 100. Anything above 70, that means that your profile is a magnet for creating new business opportunities, and you can use this personal profile easily to grow your business because you have a decent, valuable presence on the platform. So let me share with you here. Let's play a quick game. Let me share with you here on the chat the link, and please go to that link right now and share with me your score here on the chat. Let's just take 5 minutes in this exercise, because this is very, very valuable. The more you understand how to have a decent presence on LinkedIn, the more you can automatically grow your business. It's one of the crucial key ingredients for growing business. It's personal branding, and the best platform for personal branding is LinkedIn. So I would be more than happy to see your scores here. Just go to that link and click on get your score. You would find a button in the middle of the screen. Get your score, and then just let me know what is the number that you got for your personal profile on LinkedIn between 0 to 100, and we'll be discussing that and how can you improve it and how can you turn this LinkedIn account into I think, yes, I posted that in the chat. I think it's on the way. Let me post it once again. I just posted it twice on the chat right now. Maybe it's a little bit oh, wow. So we have Iris here, 73. Excellent job. Well done. That's very, very interesting. And I think you can easily grow your business in 2021, capitalizing on this presence on LinkedIn. 73 is a very, very interesting and business generating presence on the platform. So that's excellent. That's a good news. That brings some good vibes here. 70 from Lefirtia. But there are other ranks where I'm performing badly. But overall, 70 is really good. And the interesting thing is that you noticed that you have some areas that can be further improved. So maybe you can reach 75 or 80. Kathleen says 49, which is not bad neither. It's an excellent. So I think 49 means anything between 0 to 30. It means that this account needs lots of work. You are just presence for the sake of presence. You are not generating or getting value out of the platform. So between 0 and 30, you need to exert some more effort. Between 30 to 50, you have a good presence, but you are missing lots of opportunities. So maybe, Kathleen, you have good presence, but you are not capitalizing on that. Between 50 to 70, you are a regular, let's say, a frequent user for the platform, and you know the ins and outs for that. You are starting to capitalize on that. 70 onwards, or more than 70, you should be creating new businesses, growing your existing business, creating new customer relations on LinkedIn. If you're not doing that and you have a score more than 70, then something is wrong. And I'll be more than happy to help you. And I'll mention some, let's say, ways where I can help each one of you with the LinkedIn personal branding, especially with the social selling index. Bushra is 47, and I think, Bushra, we discussed that previously, and I think that the number has grown a little bit. I think you're exerting some effort, which is clear, but yet if you exert more time and effort, you can capitalize more. It's just like, more in, more out. And the same goes as well in another way, random in, random out. The more we work randomly on our own personal branding, the more random results that we can get, if we might get some results. The more we invest time and effort and we design a well-defined process in, the more value we can get out. And we have Fatima here saying, hello, Fady. Hello, Fatima. Great seeing you in this new year. Happy New Year, Fatima, and Happy New Year, everyone. Once again, I'm waiting for more scores from everyone here, because we have some good news from people having 70, 73, or above 70, and other people around 40. And I really highly invite people around 40 and 40 plus to exert some time and effort more on LinkedIn. It is a gold mine. I just told you my personal story with Wisal team that led me here to this talk here today. So the more you invest in that, I assure you that the ROI, the return on investment for your time and your effort, is really, really, really massive and worth every minute of your time. So that's the social selling index. Just to summarize the social selling index, and what do we do if we don't have, let's say, 70 plus? Number one is the establishing your professional brand. How is your profile? Because your profile is the first impression, and first impressions last, as we always know, and we all know, and we always say. First impressions last. If your profile on LinkedIn does not reflect the professional expert in the field, maybe I can see, let's say, tens of such a profile. But if this is something that looks and appears different, then I'm motivated to spend more time on that profile, to read more within the text on that profile, to browse more visuals, more videos from that profile. So number one is establishing a rock solid profile. That's the first criteria that LinkedIn ranks about. Then it's finding the right people, which brings us back to the network, the tremendous connections, the second key that we mentioned. Do you have a strong network? It's not only about number, it's not about quantity, it's both. It's quantity and quality of the network, because factor number 2 and factor number 4, they go together. Building relationships by finding the right people. If I have thousands of followers, I work on social media, online marketing, and if I have thousands of followers who are accounting professionals, then I'm not adding value to them, neither they are adding value to me. Then something is wrong. It's all about finding the right people, the right quality of people that are relevant to my business, and my business is relevant to them. And the more I grow that number of specific audience, the more I can generate, let's say, more business growth and more social selling index. So it's the quantity and the quality of relevant people in my network. And factor number 3 is engaging with insights. What does that mean? Whenever you post something, you can always check the insights of that post. How many times do you check the insights? How many times you update your content strategy to be more relevant, more useful, more valuable to your audience? If you just post regularly, just as posting, then there's no value. The more you check the insights and you tailor your post to add more value, to create more value to your audience, then that's what LinkedIn really considers, is that you check the insights, you tweak your content, you add more value to the relevant people in your network. It's not just sharing posts to random people. Remember, it's always random in, random out. The more value you put in, the more business opportunities you get out. So these are the 4 factors. If you are ranking well in these, then you are doing a good job. Just keep going. If you are doing something less in one of these, then maybe this is the priority that you should be focusing on, and start exerting some more time and effort on that special area, growing your relevant network, or checking the insights and tweaking your content, or revisiting your profile as a whole and updating the profile with fresh new content and new things that was not mentioned for that. Fatima is saying, I'm waiting for checking my profile and an urgent help. For sure, I'm always more than happy to help with rebuilding, reestablishing the profile. So no worries at all. So that's, in a nutshell, the summary of all what we have discussed, the 3 T's. If you just combine them under the umbrella of personal branding, starting from the social network, the most popular, for sure, personal branding is not just only LinkedIn. It's lots and lots of work between your personal identity, your own blog, your own website, your presence on social media, be it a Facebook page, Twitter account, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever it is. There are lots of work to be done. But the most straightforward, quick win that I would highly advise is LinkedIn, because already millions of professionals are already there. You can just capitalize on that. If you start your own website or your blog, you would need lots of time, lots of content, lots of investment in the content to grow your customer base. But if you have a good presence on LinkedIn, people are already there, potential customers are already there, partners are there, experts are there, industry leaders are there. It's just like a room full of every single person that you need to connect to. It's just a matter of, opening the door entering and creating value for these people inside the room, where you grab the attention and always be the person who people would like to come across and approach you and start a conversation in a win-win situation. So LinkedIn is the best quick win for establishing your personal branding, which would accordingly lead to business growth. Okay, so the last thing, because I think I have a few minutes here, having said so, next steps, what do we do then? Please, today. I always say today, not tomorrow, not after tomorrow, today. You just need to revisit the 3 Cs. How are you doing with your existing customers? How much value are you creating for them? How many times are you talking to them? How are you growing your connections online? And how much time you create content to engage with those audience and create conversations? And have you ever considered media? Have you ever considered pitching the media? Do you have any friends in your friends network, in your family, anyone working in the media, anyone that you can pitch some success stories for? And then above all, revisit quickly and immediately your LinkedIn profile. I'll be sharing, let me share with you here over the chat this Prezi, and I can help you. I'm more than happy to help you with 3 main things. One is here, the link for a free personal branding session where we can go together through your personal profile on LinkedIn, check your social selling index, and build a simple, quick plan together. How can you grow your social selling index, and how can you design a process to grow your business out of LinkedIn? This is step number 1, where I can help you. If you would like proactively to get all the latest tools, best practices, tips and tricks about personal branding, just subscribe to that link here. For the newsletter, where automatically in your inbox you would always regularly get the latest regarding business development, online marketing, and personal branding. And I would be more than happy, lastly, to have you in my professional network over LinkedIn, and I'll be more than happy to connect with every single person with you here. So here is the link for the Prezi. I added it to the chat, where you can find all the links that I shared. And here is also, let me share the link for the personal branding session. Please go check it, and I'm more than happy to discuss with you and help you with your personal branding. This is the link for the session. Just check whatever slot is convenient to you. And lastly, here is the link for the newsletter subscription. And that's it. I'm done, and I'm more than happy to answer all your questions, thoughts. I think we have just 4 minutes left, so let me stop the screen sharing. And if you have anything that you would like to discuss, please let me know here in the chat. And I'm really happy about this session. I would like to thank everyone from the Wisal team here, from the Emma team. It's really a great opportunity to be here once again, and I'm always glad to be helping and sharing some tips and tricks, some knowledge here. So any questions? If there's no question, then I always assume that everything is super clear, and I would say some booming business in the next few days. If that's the situation, then I'm more than happy to be that I could deliver that idea and that value. Okay, so here is an interesting question. Thank you for that. At the moment, I'm having a company account and a personal account on LinkedIn. How am I supposed to use them, integrate them in one? No, please no. I think it needs a little bit effort to work on parallel on both accounts, because they're 2 sides of the same coin. So for example, on your personal brand and your personal account, you're growing more of your own personal brand, your expertise, sometimes within the company, and sometimes you are building your own, sharing knowledge, sharing some tips and tricks, regardless of what the company is doing at the moment, success stories with the customers, new projects. You're just sharing your own personal expertise with your network. So this is something. The other thing is about the company. Sometimes or many times you need to post about the company culture, the team. How is the team inside this company? Present to the world the expertise of the team. Show the world that you have the best team ever, the best experience ever. Show them the success stories with the customers. So they are like two circles overlapping in a small layer, but sometimes you need to talk with the voice of the company as a corporate, and many times you should talk about yourself as a person, and some maintaining some overlapping between both. If you're a solopreneur, then also that applies. You can always talk about your company, what you're delivering to your customers, but on your personal account. Keep in mind is that your personal account is about your personal expertise. So the more you share them on your personal account, the more you complete the convenient picture about yourself and about your company. Maybe if you're a solopreneur, the intersecting part between the two circles is a little bit bigger, but just maintain both. And sometimes you post something like a customer success story on your company, and then you can share it on your personal account and vice versa. So it's like the best advice I can say here: build a content calendar for both. A content calendar is a very simple Excel sheet where you just plan every day what topic would you post on which content format. Will it be a blog post? Will it be a photo, video, and at what time? Just bring two Excel sheets and plan what would you say as a solopreneur, as a company, and what would you say as an individual. And if you have those two Excel sheets and you plan, let's say, on a weekly basis, then you can sort out this thing. I hope this helps. Okay, Peter says, thanks, really valuable recommendations and hints, Fady. Thanks, Peter, glad it was useful. Fairuz says, thanks a lot for this interesting session. Thanks to you, Fairuz. I'm more than happy that it was useful. And again, LinkedIn, guys, LinkedIn. Okay, thank you, dear Fady, for the great class. We'll soon start the closing remarks. Thank you for the insight, really appreciate your presentation. Okay, glad I did. Kathleen, thank you so much. I think I'm running out of time, and it's time now to end my session. So thank you all once again. I'm really honored to be with you here, and I'll be even more honored to be connected with you on LinkedIn, on any social platform. And if you need any help, just ping me on LinkedIn or just get the session for personal branding, and let's continue the conversation. And remember, it's always about conversations. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, and have a fantastic day and Happy New Year.